Hello, YouTube. Boom, boom, boom. Big explosion and car goes off. Okay, that was my intro. Stats Around Badass, SOS here. I was just kind of hanging out. Figured I'd talk about knives, and I'll say something about the drowning effect for you. So, and music cueing the intro, right? Kind of like the background music. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'll see when I post the video. Alright. Knives. Okay? We all need knives. Let me kill my music real quick. We all need knives. Alright, if you're into, hell, I don't know what you're into. You could be into kittens, but you're watching Step 1 Survival, so we're going to talk about knives. I'll get into one of my favorite knives here in a minute. If you're a jarhead, you probably know what that is. And if you're a jarhead, you probably know what this is. Okay. By jarhead, I mean Marine. Alright. This is a chest rig. I have a chest rig for this one. It kind of goes over your shoulder. Comes, yay. So you can grab it. Say you get your campsite set up and you want to fillet some meat or whatever you're cooking, or you want to stir your food. Yeah, there's always a knife, right? Not just for food. You get the point. I'm just saying, easy access. It's always good to have. Alright. This is just a standard K-bar. Okay? This is just a basic K-bar. It's the USA one. It's not the Marine Corps one. I like it because it comes in this Kydex sheath. Now, I did the artwork on that, if you can see that. I did the stippling on that. It gives it a crazy effect. I like it. You don't really notice it much. Kind of looks like it's part of it. It's kind of how I wanted it to look. And this is your type of blade that we have here. It's got a good solid end to it for bashing heads in. But yeah, you need a good knife. So this is a K-bar. This is a good one. Any one of these would be great. Any K-bar. I bought a K-bar for my dad. He loved it, and I didn't think I heard any more about it. So it must have been good. So me personally, K-bar is the way to go. If you're camping, hiking, all that stuff, this is about the yay size you want. It's a little bit longer than what I would recommend, but if you're trying to drop your pack weight a little bit and you want to kind of use this for a slight of a machete, kind of knock some brushes out of the way, this will do it. And it'll also hammer tent pegs and stuff like that. This works really good. Let's move on. Alright. This is one of my homemade hippie rigs. Okay, I take this with me every time I go camping. This is my family. When I go out with the family, I usually bring this one, and I usually use a drop holster, kind of like on my leg, on my around my leg here, around my thigh rig. Anyway, this thing is awesome. I put as much thought into it as I could. I've got a ferro rod. I've got this is a pace counter. If you're not familiar, I'll do an episode of pace counting, so you can learn how to pace count. Me and a friend used this on a hiking trip, and we nailed it, literally. I was kind of off on the counting at first because I couldn't remember. I mean, the thing is, when you jump into something, you might not remember everything you learn. And I was off by a pace. And then we added that pace to it. It's like, oh, well, we fucked up. So I just added a pace to it. We figured it out. And counted it out. And this is how we did it. We found out how far we needed to go. And it said we had to go this many miles, and we used our pace counter, and we got there where we needed to go. So, crisis averted. It was great. I don't want to go into full depth into what is all in here. There is a full fishing kit. There is a compass. There is weatherproof matches. There is a rape whistle for all you guys that need a whistle with you. Some people, I guess, just don't want to, worry about it, but there's a whistle in there. There's also a pencil sharpener that is made of magnesium, and I will do a video on that in the future. But you can strip the magnesium off, use the fire rod, boom, and it will light up pretty hot. Most of your traditional pencil sharpeners, the metal ones, are made of magnesium, and you can strip some of that off with your knife, and then anyway, you get the point. Alright, band-aids, all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I said, full fishing kit, fishing line, all that is all in here. This little doodad right in here. It's a big tube, goes all the way in, and it's full of gear. There's a saw in here, but let's get to the knife. Alright, this is just an El Cheapo knife I recustomized. I didn't like the paracord wrapped around it. Now, if you go to Amazon, you'll find this same exact knife for, I think, $7. Did I say $7? Yeah. $7. Now, I ran this through a rod sharpener. Basically, you set it into a vise and you sharpen it, and that's how it's been sharpened. This thing is probably the sharpest knife I own, and if you can see the edge, it's ridiculous. It's like a freaking samurai sword. So you got to be very careful with this thing. It's a very fine knife. I have to warn everybody when I hand it to them, look, be very careful with this thing. But yeah, I made my own handle. It's something simple. It's nice and square. I like the square feel, pressing down onto something. I take this with me when I go on extreme adventures and I don't know when or where I'm going. Alright. I'm going to finish off the big knives and then we'll get into some smaller knives. This is one of my favorites. This is so much my favorite that I don't even want to touch it. I want to keep this thing for years. Here we go. Let's get into this one here. You'll like this. This is the OC3S Ontario Knife Company, and this is the Combat, made in the USA, Marine Corps, USMC, and this is a bayonet. It has a good solid base. It's not gonna fall apart on you. If you had to knock something in with it, you could. The grip is amazing. They really thought this out, and I love how it has the slits in it. So say if your hands are covered in blood like O.J. Simpson, your fingers would still kind of get around that. You know what I mean? You can still grip that pretty good. Anyways, I love the feel of this thing. But I love this knife so much that I really don't even want to take it with me anywhere. And that's sad because it's such a great knife. But it costs a lot. You cats that go looking it up, oh, I've got to go get one. Get ready to spend the money because this thing is not cheap. And you can tell I've hardly even used it. It's nice and clean. No dirt. Yeah. I suck. I know. I should take this thing out more. I love this knife. But anyways, it's got a nice sharpener on the back side. You can see that on the inside there. This O3CS. Anyway, just so you know, Ontario Knife Company. They also make a really cool Air Force knife. My friend takes out. I think it's the coolest thing ever. He uses it to saw logs and just crazy stuff and pick his teeth and weird stuff. But it's like the coolest thing ever. It's the Ontario Air Force survival knife, and I think you'll find that on Amazon for like $40. But it is a super cool knife, and it comes with a sharpener and a sheath. If you're interested in an affordable survival knife that's kind of ready to go, that would be your choice. That's what I make. I don't have one. I used to have one, but I had to return it because someone had sent me the wrong knife, and I returned it. The knife I have around the neck here is a K-bar knife that I've done leather work to. I like wearing this around my neck every now and then. Not a big neck person. I don't like things around my neck. I'm kind of weird like that. Alright. This is Emerson. Pretty simple little knife. I swiped off. This was a Krompet. It was one of those Krompet knives. Had a little finger groove in it. Got on my nerves. I cut it off. I didn't want it, but it's got a nice catch for your pocket. So what happens is when you slide this out of your pocket, it goes open. It's pretty cool. A lot of people like that feature. I know a guy that watches my channel. He loves that stuff. He's weird about those cold steel Jahara Kafara knives and stuff. He's one of those guys. Anyway, this one's got a pocket catch on it. This is a kind of ridiculous knife. I don't carry this anywhere. In Tennessee, we don't have any knife laws. Zero. You can carry whatever you want, but once you leave the state, then you fall under federal law and stuff like that. Federal buildings, same way. If I go to the VA, I have to empty my pockets. I can't carry my knives inside. Most of my knives are way beyond the length I'm supposed to have. And just like this one, this thing is ridiculous. It's a stiletto. It's a little tactical stiletto knife. It's 15 inches. I said that. It's 15 inches. I'm not kidding. It's 15 inches. It's like 7-ish or something when it's compact. Anyway, you get the point. Compare sizes here. Regular knife. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Oh, we can compare this. This is cold steel. I have a little lanyard on here I like. And it has a pocket groove, so you can flick it with your pocket. This is a pretty fast moving knife. I love it. It's really sharp. It's light, very light. You can jab and stab with it pretty good. For all you ninjas, let's just compare the two real quick. The size difference, see that? Major. But this one has a little bit more weight to it. And it has a hell of a point. I'd hate to get stabbed with this. I don't take it out. It's another one of those knives I leave it put up. Alright. Everybody likes Kukris, right? I got a Kukri in my safe. That's crazy. I'll show you that one in a minute. Another Kukri. Just a little pocket knife. This is the Magnum, and it's by Boker. And you can find this knife for like 10 bucks, I think. Magnum Boker. I wrapped the red string on it. Yeah, I'm flamboyant like that. Made a little sheath for it. It's kind of cool. You can keep it behind your back and just kind of push. Everybody likes these Krompets, right? Now this is a knockoff of a quartermaster. I thought it was kind of odd, but I got this for free. Someone sent that to me. I did some work for him, and he hooked me up. He gave me this, but it's like a knockoff of a quartermaster. You can see the Q on there. These things are ridiculously sharp. When you get them, I don't care who you are, don't touch the blade at all. Don't be like feeling on it or anything. This thing is ridiculously sharp. Some people like that stuff. This is the Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops. Bleh. Alright, for all you extreme people out there. Extreme Ops. And you can see. Smith & Wesson. Bleh. Alright, anyway. One more big knife for you. I'll get into another bigger knife in a minute. For all you hatchet guys out there. Oh yeah, let's go tactical. Oh yeah. I could legally carry that here if I wanted to. Anyways, this one's made by MTech USA. Extreme. Oh, could you imagine? And it's the Krompet too. It's got the... What the... I don't get it. I don't know. I use it when I cook out and stuff just to amuse people. Yeah, let's go cut some meat. Yeah. People get a kick out of it. Alright, one more. Let me grab it real quick. I got one more Kukri shoved around here somewhere. I know it's in here somewhere. I just had that thing. Where did I put it at? I got it over here. Could just pause my video. I guess I'm a jerk like that. People hate you. They're all gonna laugh at you because you don't know what you're doing. Alright. Biscuits and gravy. Alright. The Kukri. Now, this is a magical tool. Took this with me on my last trip, and it never got put down. My friend used it. I used it. We cut trees, like full logs that we needed. We built a hobo camp. We built a hobo bench. We made a bench out of logs and forelegs and backboard and everything so that we could sit back and relax and watch the fire. This was the guy that did all the work right here. This thing was a workhorse. We used it as a shovel. It was just doing everything. Now, like in my other one, this one has a full kit inside of it. Full survival kit. Pretty much like I mentioned with the other one. This one has fishing kit, fire, even has fire tinder in there. I'll do a little episode on all that stuff. I don't want to stretch the video out too long. I have a few of these. The other one has something like this in it. This is so I can spear fish. This one has got the hooks on the back of it. So I can make a spear. Spear. Alright, let's get into the knife. So you can see what I'm working with here. Not crazy. Now this is a modified version of a very cheap knife that not too many people know about. I know a couple of dudes that have one, but I made some modifications to the blade. This thing used to have a blade that was like yay. So what I did is I sliced. And then when I did that, it became awesome. I drilled a fine hole in the backside here for certain reasons while I'm camping. It kind of works like some of you guys that know what a Christmas tree is, this will work like a Christmas tree. Basically a pry bar in cases where I have to cut heavy things in half. In the back side here, I'm not going to open it. In the back side here, there's a full tube with survival gear in it. I've made a lot of modifications to this, and this thing is basically, I mean, I'm talking Borderlands. There's a steel rod in here now. It used to have this flimsy squeeze rivet in there. I ripped that thing out, and I put in a solid steel rod inside of it. Handle doesn't do anything anymore. It's solid. It's all metal. There's no, most people be like, dude, all metal? Like that would suck on your hand. You can't tell. You can't tell when you're chopping a tree or whatever you're doing. You can't tell. Okay. Alright, so I talked about all that. I'll put that up in a minute. Here we go.
Channel mode.
Alright, let's talk about Psychopaths. Here we go. The drowning effect. Alright, you've got stuff. People want it, right? People are going to come get it. You don't want that to happen, right? You got to start teaching people around you cool stuff. Like, hey, this is a knife. You should get one. This is a gun. You should get one. You know what I mean? But smart people, you know. Get people on board with staying alive, not dying. More people that are kind of on board and they have that comfort. If you can convince them, you know, you can convince anyone into doing good things. You know, hey, when you're at the grocery store, you should pick up a case of water while you're there. Just saying. But you can purify water other ways. I mean, you got your one little droplet of Clorox bleach to ever many gallons or ever many liters of water. I mean, you can go as far as that, or you can get your tablets and yada yada yada, and you can buy all that stuff while you're out shopping. If you go into the camping section of any camping section area, like Walmart even, I was back there and they even had the tablets for water treatment. You can get that. If the water goes bad, then drop that in there. Ta-da! It's just one of those things that, you know, you could probably tell other people kind of along the way. I try to talk to people, but sometimes they just kind of start talking over me and it just gets flooded out. So, good luck. I mean, I hope I can help a few people. I hope this helps. I hope this channel helps. I don't know. It helps me. I love talking. I don't care if anybody watches my channel or not. They can just, oh, I don't like this guy. He's annoying. Whatever. Don't care. So, it's just one of those things like, they're going to be in a drowning effect. They're going to be in a panic, freaking out. Everybody's going to be freaking out. Oh, I don't have enough gas. You know, the pipeline is exploding. It's just like that ordeal. Something like that can cause some catastrophic. It could cause lines for the gas pump. What am I going to do? Lines for the gas pump leads to fighting. People bickering and trying to do mean stuff to one another. Cutting each other off. Me first. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Me first. Gimme, gimme, gimme. It's in the society that we're in right now. Isn't me first? Give me now. and it's not fast enough. So you need to be prepared for that. And then try to get other people kind of on that. You know, there's not politeness left. Not much of it anyways. You know, I've ran into a few people while I'm out, you know, and they have good morals and values, and you know, they're polite, and they have good manners. You know, good manners. I mean, you're teaching it to your kids, but it's kind of like how they were raised. What happened to some of these people? And I had a guy hit me with his shopping cart at the grocery store. And I go, dude, why did you hit me? And he goes, oh man, the language. He just like freaks out. He's like, you should get the F out of my way, you a-hole. I'm trying to shop. What am I doing here? That's what I'm doing. I'm shopping too. I had a guy at the grocery store. People are just lost their minds. It's happening everywhere. I'm at the grocery a different day. I had my 3 kids with me, and there's a guy, there's only one checkout open, and he's behind that checkout. So me, trying to be polite, I say, hey, are you in line? And he goes, does it look like I'm in fucking line? And I was like, well, you should probably fucking move then. And he's like, he goes, you got a problem, bub? Who the hell says bub anymore? But this dude said bub. So he's like, you got a problem, bub? I'm like, I go, you got a problem, bub. I was like, you sound like an idiot. I'm not talking to you. Well, I just said that. And I was like, you sound like an idiot. I don't have time for this. And he's like, he looks at my gun, and he had like that strange look on his face. Like, I wear one everywhere. I wasn't flashing it or anything. It stays on my hip. But he's like staring at it, and he goes, like that. And I don't know what's wrong with people. Just asked him if he was in line. And it led to explosions. So what is it? What is it? What's wrong with everybody? Everyone's grumpy, and I just don't get it. But I mean, some people are having a bad day, but damn, I'm running into a lot of people that are having bad days everywhere I go. So, and opinionated people, they just run their mouth. Jeez, man. But help those around you that are lost in the sauce. Help them. Pick them out. Dude, why don't you come with me? Let's talk. Grab a person. Dude, let's talk about stuff. You thought about this? You thought about what it's going to be like if something bad happens? Do you live... Some people live paycheck to paycheck, and they can't afford it. And then you got some people that can't afford it. Well, what about those people that can afford it? You know? But this is a thing you kind of do over time. And some people are like, dude, I can't prep. I live in a tiny apartment. Where am I going to store anything? You know? You can do some tiny stuff. You can make something tiny into something big. Okay? I'll get into that in one of my little episodes. How to take something that's small and make it something big. It's just like this Krompet. Not Krompet. Kukri. I say Krompet. This is a Krompet. This is a Kukri. Anyway. It's just like this thing. It was a workhorse. It's, for what it did, it's very small. All the functions that this thing can do, it's very small. And you could go out, like if you were a real bushcrafter, you could just take this and you could go in any direction. You would have a fire, you would have a shelter. It's just like if you watch, look at homeless people, for example. I'll tell you, look at homeless people. When doomsday happens, they're going to be teaching you how to live. They're going to tell you, hey, you should line that cardboard box with newspapers. It works as insulation. It'll keep you warm. You should take that mattress and roll it up. You can make a nice home out of it. Fill it up with newspapers. Basically, it's living like a squirrel, but you can make these things out of nothing. Primitive living. Okay, wasted your time long enough. This is SOS, and I hope you enjoyed my little talk. I bought knives. Staff Sergeant Badass. Signing off. Enjoy your day.